A lot of people come on here and they talk about a whole group of people because this is trauma that they just haven't went to therapy for, and so they're projecting it on the other people and assuming that people care to hear that, and we don't. Please stop listening to these people. You will be very bitter. Not lonely, but you will be very, very bitter. Your relationships won't last because you are looking for superficial things in a relationship. And when I say superficial things, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about what it is that you actually want out of a relationship. See, when you take a good look around and you see what's going on around you, you see that there's people who are in lasting relationships 30 years, 40, 50 years, 20 years. You see these people, and usually when they're in these relationships, they're either older, right? They're like, got together when they're like 40 or 50, and they just decided, maybe even 30, and they just decided we're going to spend the rest of our lives together, right? And now they're 70 and they're together. And how long y'all been? Oh, we've been together for about 50. Oh, we've been together about 30. Oh, we've been together for about 20 years. They're matured, they're older, they've lived their lives, they've realized, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want in a mate. And they sit down and they see what's currently going on in their life. They think about what it is that they're interested in doing, what they like to do, and then they sit down and they say, this is the type of spouse that I want. All this, oh, he needs to make a certain amount of money, or, oh, she needs to not have kids. Oh, she needs to be able to cook, clean, and be feminine and fit and be skinny, and she got to be appealing and pretty, and he got to be strong and in the gym and built, and he got to look good. He got to take care of. The other lasting couple that I've also saw was people saying like, oh, we've been together since we were 14, 15 years old. That's a flex. And let me say this about those couples. These couples, they genuinely love each other. Like they found the connection when they were younger. When you're 14, 15 years old, you're not thinking about femininity and masculinity and, oh, you're fit. Oh, but you're fertile. Like, oh, you got a job. Oh, you can take care of our family. When you're 14, 15 years old, what you doing? You hanging out with your friends, playing video games, doing homework, going to school. You have a genuine connection with that person. A lot of people are in lasting relationship with these people that they've had prior friendships with. They were friends. They started off as friends. Some of them went right into a relationship and never got out. Some of these people who are spewing that make these channels, these YouTube channels, these podcasts, telling you what you should be looking for in a mate, they're either A, bitter from all their prior relationships and experiences, or B, in a current relationship that they don't want to be in. Am I lying? This is why it's important that people either go to therapy or seek help, like real help, like find a way to channel that negative energy. Find something that you're genuinely interested in and do it. And when you start to do it more often, you might find somebody else who's interested in those things. All those superficial things go out the window. Oh, he got to make a lot of money. Because I was with a man before he was broke and it just didn't work. No. See, there's women who don't mind working, who would prefer to be with a man who didn't mind working, and they work together to make sure that their kids are well taken care of and their household is taken care of. I cook, you prep food, I clean the dishes, you mop the floors, I take out the trash, you bag the trash and put it at the door. They don't call it life partner just because. So you got the people who don't do 50-50. They don't say anything about people who do 50-50. You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because usually when you're a stay-at-home mom, you're getting shitted on. Stay-at-home moms are the hardest working people, and stay-at-home dads too. They're the hardest working people on the planet. They make appointments. They go to sports events and games and practices. They drop the kids off from school. They clean the house all damn day and cook to get ready for the kids when they come home. They sometimes drop their kids off at their sporting events or pick them up from their sporting events. They go shopping all the time for food, clothes, paper towels, tissues. They have appointments that they have to take their kids to, doctors, dentists, registration, filling out paperwork, dropping off paperwork. Like real stay-at-home mom and dads, like they really, really, really work. Like a kid scrapes their knee, they got to sit there and be a therapist. Like, oh, just calm down. It happens to all of us. Let me just get you a Band-Aid. Some people lack patience to but some people lack patience to be that type of parent. And that's okay, because not everything works for everybody. You understand? And so what may sound ridiculous to you works for other people. Some men and women purposely date older people. You may find them infertile, and they're not fit and friendly and they're old. That's you. Some people prefer older people, men and women. Some people prefer younger people. Some people prefer fat people. Some people prefer skinny people, men and women. There's men who like BBW, just an example, or bigger women, or thick women. And then there's women who like big men, big teddy bear men. That's what they call them. You see how ridiculous this sounds when you're listening to these people and they're telling you what you should be interested in? It's not their life. Everybody's life is unique. Your life is your life. And what may work for other people don't work for you. And that's okay. Everything is not conventional, including the standards of beauty. None of these things are conventional. This is based off of what you want, what you find attractive. One person may like big booties. The other person don't like booties. They don't like it. One person may not like titties. The other person may love titties or don't care for titties. One person will prefer for you to look A, B, and C. There's certain things in people that people see that's attractive to them that may not be attractive to somebody else. What you deem as ugly is beautiful to somebody else. We see it all the time. Oh, he ugly. How he pull a girl like that? Because he's not ugly to her. That's why. He's ugly to you. And you know what's funny? This is what's so funny. For years, people sat around making so much money off of y'all insecurities. It's pathetic. At no moment, at no point in time do these people actually tell you to go seek real help. They make money off of you just by your insecurities, just by your trauma. Like, oh, I've been with somebody who was fat. I told them to go work out and they didn't. What? Just what? What? I just don't want to deal with somebody who had kids before, I want to. That's your preference. That is your preference. You don't want to deal with somebody who has kids. There's people out here who wouldn't mind dating someone with kids. There's women who can't have kids that purposely look for men with kids so that they can have stepchildren to raise. There's men who can't have kids who purposely look for women who have kids so that they can be the fathers that they've always wanted to be. People have medical conditions. Everybody can't have kids, and it has nothing to do with age. There's people who are 40, 50 years old still having kids. Oh, that's high risk. It's some people who have healthy pregnancies at 40, 50 years old having kids. And then you have 20 years old that can't have kids because they're infertile. There's all types of conditions out here where people can't have kids, and it's so demeaning to say that somebody has less value because they can't have kids. Are you crazy? Because they're infertile, they have less value as a person. There's people who don't want kids ever and will prefer to be with somebody who can't have kids. So that can never be a thought. I mean, like, it's like people are so superficial and just refuse to see reality for what it is. Because when you look around, you see all types of couples, blended families, relationships, people who don't want to be married, people who do want to be married, people who don't want to have kids, people who do want to have kids. It's perfectly normal for you to want what you want, what works best for you in your life and your partner. That's why they call them life partners. Because when you're on Facebook and you're on social media, you see these long-term relationships, they're not posting every 5 minutes. They're not on social media like that. And when they are, you are watching them grow. You're watching them buy their first house. You're watching them buy their first car. You're watching them have their first child, baby showers, go through their first breakup and get back together, their first marriage, they being married. You go through life with these people through social media. You see it in real time, and you still sit up here on social media and believe the exact opposite is that you have to think about a specific person in your brain and cultivate that person and then like that person. Oh, I can't deal with nobody unless they chocolate. What? Okay, so that's your preference. The thing is, everybody thinks that everybody should have like this one type of person that they should be attracted to or that they should take serious or they should be in a relationship with, and that's not reality. It's not. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's circumstances is different. Everybody's schedule is different. Everybody's interest is different. Everybody's attractiveness and what they're attracted to is different. Some people, I can't be with you unless you a foodie. I can't be with you unless you stay in the gym. I can't be with you unless you like to hike or go on adventures. I can't be with you unless you travel. I can't be with you unless you have an education and you went to college or you went to high school. I can't be with you unless, and these are all based off of trial and error. You have been with people, you saw things that you did not like in those relationships that does not fit your lifestyle, and so you're moving forward. But now you're projecting those things on the other people and assuming that people should be able to take that in, reevaluate their life so that they could be just like you. Because you're a guru. And they lie and say, oh, we got all these couples together. Yeah, but how long did the relationship last? Was there even a relationship? You got to ask these questions because it's ridiculous. People are not genuine anymore. I got malintentions to be with somebody who makes 6 figures. I need to be with somebody who makes 6 figures. Okay, you need to be with somebody who makes 6 figures. But when you start saying, you have to date a man who got money because if you don't, this is going to happen. That's your trauma. That's what you went through with men. That's the type of men that you dated. That's the issues that you saw when you were dating men. This is something that your life allows you to do. Based on your lifestyle, you just say, based on my lifestyle, I prefer to date somebody who makes over 6 figures because A, B, and C. Stop making this about everybody else because everybody's life is unique. Everybody doesn't exist within the confines of your failed relationships. We don't. Surprisingly enough, A lot of people who are in successful long-term relationships understand that they like that person for them. Not because of the money, not because of how this person look, big boobies, big booty, got the most expensive things on, looking like a whole Instagram baddie. People don't typically take those women seriously. And if they do, it's because that's their type. That's what they prefer to be with. And that is not a large population of people. I promise you that. If you think that everybody just out here just dating Instagram models, male and female, just out here just dating Instagram models, you have a completely encrypted understanding of what life really is about. Because if it was so common, why isn't everybody an Instagram model? Why don't we see these Instagram models in these lasting relationships? Why don't we see these dating coaches and these people telling you who you should and shouldn't be with, not in lasting relationships? Why aren't they telling us about the bad stuff that happens in their relationships too? I mean, they only talk about other people and what other people should be doing and what other people should be looking for in a relationship. But they never talk about the pros and cons of their relationship. We don't know what their lives are behind closed doors. We don't know. But yet we sitting up here talking about, yeah, that's right, sis. Yeah, bro. You don't know these people. Perfect example. One of the most popular dating coaches that has ever existed, the pilot of dating coaches, a black male. He comes on a platform all the time telling you what you should and shouldn't like, who you should and shouldn't date. Yet, this person has failed marriages, kids from prior marriages. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because there's people who actually prefer a man who has already been married and been through life and had experiences and understands what he likes and what he doesn't like. But that is him, his perception, his lifestyle, his preferences. Not yours. So when you sit up here and you try to align yourself with somebody else's preferences, lifestyle, experiences, and you can't figure out why you can't keep a woman around, you can't get no vagina, you can't do anything when it comes to being in a relationship with somebody, you can't be in a functional relationship without arguing with somebody or being in a disagreement with somebody or abusing somebody mentally, physically, emotionally, you can't figure it out. You just can't. I don't know why. It's just not working. Because you're too busy trying to live in the shoes of other people with their preferences, their lifestyle, and their experiences. Oh, but it's proof because, a lot of people, yes, and all these people who have failed relationships. You are not going to hear a dating coach talking to a successful person who has been in a successful marriage or relationship for a long period of time. They're talking to a bunch of single people with a bunch of failed relationships, a bunch of past experiences, a bunch of trauma, and no therapy. Whether it be self-therapy, whether it be going to a therapist who went to school for therapy, psychology. You are sitting online listening to a bunch of single people talk about what they want. We personally know people who've been together for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But you keep going back to these people who do not have any serious relationships. And when they do have serious relationships, these same people, they don't talk about it. But you know people personally. You've watched them grow as a couple. You know them personally. But yet, you want to listen to a single person online tell you what you should and shouldn't find interesting in a person. What you should and shouldn't look for in a relationship. I mean, like, ghetto. Just ghetto.